story after story about the resilience of the people in these surrounding neighborhoods. Many of these neighbors have gathered twice daily since the morning after George Floyd was killed to check in on each other, to see what people need. Mutual aid. The intensity of need has only increased since the insurgence of ICE. Then we returned to the bus to head to where Renee Good was killed and her ever-growing memorial. We didn't know this until after the fact, but our bus was trailed by ICE, who somehow knew we were clergy. They did not interact with us, but they did stop a car behind them that contained 2 clergy persons. They smashed the driver's side window and tried to pull her out of her car. ICE finally gave up and let them go, and those 2 clergy followed us back to the church, with the driver needing medical attention. Also, upon the return to the church, they wanted us to quickly enter the building because there was an active ICE abduction happening just around the corner. We ended up being stuck at the church for a couple of hours because they didn't want to draw attention to that church with a whole bunch of clergy people leaving. It has a high population of immigrants, and they are front and center of much of the mutual aid happening these days. They were worried about the safety of that congregation moving forward. During these hours, about 125 people gathered in their fellowship hall, talking, singing, sharing stories. And then miraculously, a couple of church members prepared huge pots of soup and fed everyone there. In the afternoon, over 50,000 people gathered to march through the streets of downtown Minneapolis. The temperature was frigid, something like -10 with a wind chill of -40. It had been -20 that morning when we left to go to the church. I did not know that it was physically possible to be so cold. The march ended at the Target Arena with a rally. Now, some of us were questioning this rally being held at the Target Arena, knowing that Target is not behaving as we think maybe they should, allowing ICE to stage in their parking lots, allowing ICE to remove their employees who happen to be US citizens from the store. The MC noted the juxtaposition, but stated that the tax dollars of Minneapolis residents also pay for that arena, so it is still theirs. Approximately 20,000 people were there. It was really cool to look around the crowd and see these bright yellow Side with Love Stolls all around. That evening, UU clergy were invited to the First Universalist Church for dinner and a vigil. While I had been feeling all kinds of things throughout those 2 days, sitting in that sanctuary after the day that we had had, I was truly overcome. Singing together hymns like, "This is my song," and "There is more love somewhere," and "Spirit of Life" brought me to tears. Exhaustion, anger, sadness, community, hope, love, all of the emotions that I had been feeling for days needed somewhere to go, and they came out through my tears sitting in that sanctuary. It was an extremely moving hour and very cathartic. I was sitting on the plane awaiting maintenance to fix a mechanical problem because it was so cold on Saturday morning when my phone started blowing up with the alerts about Alex Preddy's murder. The UU Clergy Signal app messages were full of things like, "If you are still on the ground in Minneapolis and it can extend your trip, please do. We are already exhausted, and now there has been another murder." I was really struggling sitting on that plane. There was nothing I could do about it. but I truly hated that I was sitting there and not able to be there longer, to join some of the others for some street chaplaincy at the Alex Preddy Memorial, standing in solidarity with so many people who were hurting and who were exhausted. But for sure, I was with them in spirit. Part of the reason for this call was for those of us who were able to go to Minneapolis to then take what we learned there back to our own cities and towns. For us to have some knowledge on how to begin developing relationships within our own communities, which we might need to resist an occupation. Political scientists define America no longer as a democracy, but at this moment as an authoritarian breakthrough of democracy. This is not a drill. Feeling angry is understandable, but that is not taking action. Watching what is happening to our country on social media is no longer an option, because that is not taking action. We have to do something. We have to take action. As UU Minister Ashley Horan says, we all have to take shifts for the revolution. It's time. The stories we heard from people on the ground and doing the work were difficult to hear. The images you are seeing on the news and social media are accurate. Don't let anybody tell you it's not and that it's over-exaggerated. In some areas, it looks like a war zone. There are more ICE agents there than local law enforcement. So many people in the Twin Cities are afraid to leave their homes. People are not going to work. Kids are not going to school. People are being evicted from their homes because they aren't going to work, so they aren't getting paid, so they can't afford their rent. People are disappearing without any due process. But in the midst of all of this terror, there is so much goodness happening there. Community in the very best sense of the world is what is happening. Neighbors helping neighbors. Mutual aid, taking care of each other. Food boxes delivered to people who are afraid to leave their homes for fear of being abducted by ICE. Neighbors picking up their neighbors' children from school. Breast milk for a 3-month-old being delivered because the mother was abducted the day before. Massive neighborhood watches. People driving around neighborhoods looking for ICE and then blowing whistles and honking horns or turning on car alarms when they see them to notify others that they are nearby. As someone said, it is ordinary people doing ordinary things. What we hold dear is not lost, but it is being tested. We have to hold on to the fact that we have friends everywhere, even if we've never met. The theology of showing up is making Minneapolis a holy place. So what do we do? Stand up. Call Congress. Boycott Target and all the other companies who are supporting ICE. Attend and even organize protests. All of these kinds of things are extremely important. But I think the most important thing is to stand with those who are being targeted by this administration. Sometimes that is immigrants. Sometimes that is people of color. Sometimes that is people who are standing up for their neighbors. Community is the cure. I fully believe that we were created to live in community. And being in community and taking care of one another is how we are going to get through all of this. Marcia Howard told us constancy, community, and care are the key, and I believe that. So what do? We follow the lead of the beautiful people in Minneapolis. We help with mutual aid. We participate in an ICE watch and notify others of any ICE presence. We show our support for students who are participating in walkouts at school, and so on. What do? Be in community with one another, full stop. No one is coming to save us. We are the ones who will do that. There is so much more I could say, but this has already been a very full and beautiful service. There will be time for more stories later, so just ask. I'll be sharing again at the Humanist meeting on Wednesday at 7 here in this fellowship hall. And also, please come next Sunday, February 15th at 6 p.m. in the sanctuary for Singing in Solidarity, a time to gather to sing as a way of building community and drawing on strength to stand for what we know is right, bringing something that is happening regularly in Minneapolis, right here at Spartanburg. So in closing, I need to say thank you. Thank you for going with me when I answered the call. I really did take you with me. Thank you for your care and your concern while I traveled. I got so many texts and messages and phone calls checking to make sure I was okay. Many of them saying, "Did you get arrested yet?" Thank you to those who donated funds to offset my expenses. But most of all, thank you for being this place, this beloved community that supports me in getting into good trouble. Thank you.
Anne flew. Anne flew. And when she flew, she didn't fly alone. She took us with her. As I watched her fly, I was so moved to see so many of you and circles of others following her on social media and through text, through your prayers and your love and your heart. We went with her. She said it herself. We tell these stories about flying because we can fly. And there are folks who want to tell us that we can't. And they're wrong. We can fly. And when we fly, others fly too. You can see it in the story we've told the last month from Peter Pan. There's not one person that flies. It's a whole team. And this month, to celebrate Black History Month, I would like for people online who might not otherwise watch this service, who would like to tell us that our history is not what it is and would like to erase what our history is, that we're going to celebrate Black History Month here. And when we celebrate Black History Month this month, we're going to tell another story. A Black folktale, The People Could Fly. It's a story of liberation, of people finding within themselves the magic and the power to lift out of enslavement. And when they fly to freedom, they take others with them. One person's gift awakening others' gifts until we are all changed. There's so many people who have told us that we can't, and that we better not. But feel how your heart lifted as Anne shared the story of her own flight. Now spread your wings too.
Please stand as you're able to sing together hymn number 131, Love Will Guide Us. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, deep inside us, will lead the way on the road from key to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from key to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
I am honored to have shared this time and space with you today. For our extinguishing of the chalice, we have another quote from Peter Pan. So come with me where dreams are born and time is never planned. Just think of happy things and your heart will fly on wings forever in Never Never Land. And also from The People Could Fly by Virginia Hamilton. The bent backs straightened up, old and young, who could fly joined hands. They rose on the air. They flew in a flock that was black against the heavenly blue. They went so high, say, they flew away to freedom.
Kids, when I walk out, we can fly. Who's with me?